Top of the morning, everybody. The sun is shining, the birds are singing. It's supposed to be mid-60s today. We did have a little bit of a light frost this morning, but nothing I'm too concerned about. Had some fantastic news yesterday evening. Some old friend of ours who had actually received one of Bee's puppies about 3 years ago just had puppies. And we've kind of been hit and miss looking for a female, and we locked one down. They are today 5 days old, so it's going to be close to the end of April before we're able to get her. But we will actually be getting one of Bee's granddaughters, so that's a very special dog for us, not having Leo anymore. Good morning, guys. Up and at it already. Crazy antics are in play. But not sure what happened to Leo this last fall. We dread that a hunter, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to go there. I don't even want to think about it. But having a replacement for Miss B and having several years for her to be able to train them is just golden for us. And the fact that it's going to be her granddaughter just makes it that much more special. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like I said, it'll be close to the end of April. They are 5 days old today, so we got a little bit of time. I do believe I'm going to start my morning off by building the first cage. And that way I can ensure how it's going to fit over here in this top section. I have not heard anything on the roofing tin, so still on a wait for that. So I'm on a wait for lumber, so I won't be finishing anything out framing wise over here. So I can get some cages built today and then hopefully move over to the garden and get a little bit done over here, finish putting some of this fence up. Project poor. I am absolutely project poor, but that's okay. I like to stay busy, and it's springtime, and it's my favorite time of the year. Everything is coming to life, and there's new life, it seems, in every direction you turn, and it's just one of my favorite times of year. So let me get my stuff gathered up, and we'll start building some cages. All right, first thing, I just got the call about the roof, so that is ready. Trying to get in touch with the lumberman now so that I can get them both knocked out in the same trip. So possibly maybe this afternoon I can get that taken care of after I get these cages knocked out. For the cages, here's what I'm working with. I went with the 24-inch tall, this big roll here. This will be the one that's actually used for the walls of the cage. It took me a little bit to find the 25-foot long rolls. With doing the 3-foot by 3-foot cages, it'll take 12 foot for each cage. It'll be 3, 6, 9, 12, and then I'll connect those corners, that corner together. So I'll be able to get 2 cages out of that one roll with like 1 foot of scrap left over, so minimal waste. And then the 36-inch tall by 10-foot longs will be cut for the top and the bottom of the cage. So I'll be able to get the top and the bottom and another top out of one roll. I've got 2 rolls each of these. So it'll be 1 piece top, 1 piece bottom, and 1 piece for all the sides. I don't recall what I paid for this, but I ended up finding it at Lowe's, I think is where I ended up picking that up at. And I'm just going to bend it over on some 2-bys. Now I know it doesn't look like much, but here is the first one. The corners are bent. I'll grab my J-hook pliers in a minute and we'll attach this corner. And yeah, it's super floppy, but once we get the top and the bottom, get after it, young lady. Once we get the top and the bottom on there, it'll add a lot of rigidity to it and strengthen this up quite a bit. I'm hoping that this size of a cage is going to be sturdy enough. That's one concern I did have by going this much larger than what they normally would be. Hey, as long as they're laying eggs, they're doing good. Now then, what we're working with here, if you've never put one of these together before, these guys right here, they're just wire clip pliers. Typically grab them at any hardware store, like a Tractor Supply or anything like that. I think these are around 10 bucks. I've got a couple of different types of clips. I call them J-clips. As you can imagine why. Get one of them out of here. It is shaped like a J, if you can see that. And the way these work is that little clip goes inside the pliers just like that. And then as you wrap those two wires together, it just rolls that around and sandwiches them. And you end up with this little guy like that holds your wire together. That is your instructions for the day. I've actually got another bag, pretty much same thing, different brand, different store. I think when we grabbed these, actually one store didn't have any, and we ended up having to go to another store to even find some. But I'm gonna put this square together, and then we're gonna work on cutting out the top and the bottom section and get it attached all the way around. Now then, that puts this piece together, and I hit every other, and then I doubled up on the ends just because I feel like the ends are always a weak point. But then I just hit every other, and I'm sure that's overkill, and that's fine. I'd rather over-engineer it and not have problems with it as opposed to just throwing a few on there and then having issues. So now I'm going to get this wider piece and cut out a top and a bottom, and then we'll do that all the way around, top and bottom. And then once we get that done, we'll worry about cutting door out and feed hole and all that stuff. And there's one. Became quite a bit more rigid by adding the top and the bottom to it. Man can actually do a little something with it. I had one little hiccup there right at the end. I don't remember where it's at. But I did. I had a little spot there where I had missed a spot in a corner or something. So I ended up with a little crease right there. But Lord knows I'm not perfect. And if that's the worst I did, then I think we're gonna be all right. So this is 2 foot tall, 3 foot wide, 3 foot deep. And for these little bit larger meat rabbits, that's gonna be a lot better for them. It's gonna give them more room. I can still get one of those little silicone pads to put down in here in the bottom. That way they got something to get on to get off of the cage itself. But that's probably about all I'm gonna get done today. I've got my lumber pickup lined out, and I've got my roof pickup lined out. Yeah, I've got to go do all that. Unfortunately, on a gorgeous sunny day like this, I've got to go to town. And it's 45 minutes one way to town, and then by the time I go actually another direction to get one thing and another direction to get the other, next thing you know, you done burnt about 4 hours up. And yeah, that's what happens when you go to town, when you live way out in the boonies. But I'll have all that ready to go for tomorrow. I think today may be Wednesday. I don't know, I'd have to look at the calendar. But if today's Wednesday, I think we're in the good for weather tomorrow. I should be able to get that roof put on there. And I'll have the lumber that I need to finish the framing on the bottom part of the hutch. And then I've got to create a lip for these cages to set on. I think we have a chance of rain on Friday. Weatherman's not the most reliable, but I think right now we've got a chance for Friday. Hopefully not. I think Saturday's looking beautiful, so Miss Angela will be happy. She'll have a day where she can get out here and do a little bit of work and be able to maybe put her on making a couple of these rabbit cages. That would be a good thing for her to do. Tedious work. I like it. But if I don't catch y'all on anything else today, y'all have a blessed one, and we'll catch you on the next one.